Observer said Makwaba Brasso said ye share bosse heading kobo twetwe beba no so ye de ebremu no Brasso said ye twetwe kobo na mpanifo me no a me no mo ewo studio ha me no twetwe kobo e yura Freddy Kofi Ameyaw MPP communication team no oye member sanso na Ura Bright Apreku ono so NDC communication team member na Brasso a ye ni Mr. Seth Abloso oye legal labor expert and as a labor analyst. You say ye share ekuafo say ekuafo. Ye share adwumayefo aketua ho nsem na say na ye share ho fa made ye di ye. Omo kire say omampani ke betumi omaketua no onhuri mu nko oha chichemu aduo no. 20%. Omampani nso kire nyama bi oman sika ye saka to agigi aketua yetua omo mko ahomegye mu sika ne ade. Na kire say okeka nyina bo mu a share kra eko ase ohose any kwanse sika no etra ebrebi anase percentage bi no ya atra omampani baby okan ya wohwe graphic anim na de kye dwada ne ade kode ba se aketia ntum wo ho nanso adwumaden so hu hia ni nyina nsaba ne ya tena se a ya ba hwetwe ho enkomo ne ya hwe adwumayefo epra ketia ntum omampani se mun kan bone omkoko okura kohia ye se ombehwe se single spine ne ade no ebe ye ho ntotoe na de se fata bia no eti video bia aketua ma na mu adwumaden ho so ehu hia pa se na be ya oman sikasem ebetumi akosori ebusafo mmakwaba nyame adom na monso
adom yeshia na ache
ebende eja se unyuma dos nti okwa ebesi meso na waba
asebo
okay Mr. Frederick bamisha asemfiri so
wadaruma
omampani se ne kaso kan na doso church single spine no kro mo hwe na living wage no se omo keka tutum na se fatasa na omo de aba abonti na omo de aba church omo esika onya yede kwa akatua mu ene de bo oman ho bra enti we de ma men kwa ahoma so na men fa ora setablo so emra na ebrese mesen aba onche we de fa cheme Mr. Brozo ultimi nka mo adeba UTV so nwumre.
Hello.
Mbacha ultimi nka de.
Matonga.
Okay. We de ye di mede eja ekuafo adwumayefo da Ghana adwumayefo nyina abannwumafo pa ne titiru omo aban tu omka. Kasa na se no mampani cheche enhyehyɛ omo ya adwumayefo aketua ebepagyamu. Ena TEC nso kire se nkebe ya enioma akosoro nti nka makwetua no omampani nyina ne tumi so na onfanko ontumu ha nchichemu aduonu by 20%. Ensem ene de omampani ekeka ye no odo toto ho a de medical bisa ne se ye TEC fo bisa ye ne de omampani kan ye sesia ye gina he oman ne betumi aye anaya de percentage na ba afi we dada tije se bia amfi bi da ye nim kakra no.
Hello.
Me pa cho timinga.
Matonka.
Na mi bisa se
so kakra.
Na mi bisa se May Day no. Ye celebrate no mampani echeche anamontu omutu fa single span ne living wages no. Omo adi ho dwuma. Ebiem sika omo gigi se to akati omutua omo mokọ ahomegiem ne ade no. Sika oni di ho dwuma se de ebe oman nsem ene de omo de ye. Ena ti Yusufo nso kire se enima mu ayedin ti komampani betumi a onyina ne tumi so na nkakatua no ha nchiche wadi no by 20% on tum ena mi bisa se afanu di omo kekan sesia ye gina hei ye betumi aye ana se ye de afi we di abade ye ntwen afi edi anim ansa na sa 20% no etumi aye adwuma
Ye botuma aye na enche dem nkomo onye ndem komo
nke da bay
oye the year 2020 nkomo
adenti
2020 June
yeah
Professor Yan Tiamu Abedu na reporter o de share president na no dom wa kochia hon
yeah
report na o de tugwan o said there abanintu anamon intentem brofo moti strongly urges the government to take urgent steps to address the disparity between the lowest paid and the highest paid public servants. Now, can solve there. Ama ejumayefo wa ejuma in dignity. Democrats say okra banaway. Yanse mo hwe abone ntwa na mo biara o kire de ejumayefo wo nsam hia na dema professor na wakan because all hwe president no dom warden na o kire mo ma mo yema wona wo wase ne so won sankana wonye juma wo dignity nyimdzi.
Okay.
Yes. 2020.
Mr. Abloso, enye
2021 one country.
Se nansia no mukọ kwawu amampani ayese wate abedwaku bi a omba behwe na.
No brother, mama kire nyi there. Report aba June 2020 before kwawu.
Okay.
Ewa. Na se president no want to man can report no. Se wona wonye ni yedwuma na wo bo na aburo. Because, you know, Abrafo befriend the religion of duty. What certain any report says what certain day. And Porto come now one of Wolfra, one of for a deputy na a strike na the na report na so kade a akosuan tuma woba ma one hour foreman. One hour was sold, no one didn't send them. No one didn't send pathetic, however, my 1 hour foreman. This other a ban of the Yajuma, one fine Yajuma.
Oh, okay.
American TUC Sunim, official committee, no consultant, labor consultant, or no one Yajuman.
Yeah.
Or your TUC. A Research and Policy Institute. What direct?
Hello.
Now, but since I can man, a year to my phone, where you did a lecture to pass. What's about to cost strike? Teachers cost strike. I found a career, but what saying? How come I am both?
Mr. Abloso bacha o twen ho ka free baby a won kakra ka beba wala ni mu hyeda tete ko kakra otimenka
tunka
aha na bibisa ne se o hwe mampani kasari mu a o kire to a yegegede enya 56.5 billion na de kwa akatua ne ho kaka onipa 700,000 no 31.7 billion nti me gidi se de ka nyina kira se akatua no se ekotum kura na se sika de betua se sika no ni ho nti na ayetwa mentwi ana
pocho ma onombra kakra ma so nkai
na me se otio mampani kasa na o kire kan ya kire se aban adwumayefo 700,000 to agege de di akatua ho nsem hello
adwumayefo odo na
hello say ya homa ni nim waye
adwumayefo odo ho nsem na reken
what be nka de
mate wonka ebisa de adwumayefo odo na o maye bokaw
na me o number no maaye no as against sika ya gigi se ye de kwa akodi akatua ho dwuma ene de kwa akatua mu ene de ka ne ade na mehwe de ebo aban ne nsam ene akatua ye pra akosoro ne ade na ese sika ni wonti na se de na wo sha ase kan se ache no eno nti na amana cha na
o sika no go
sa
sika go ho na mo si na wo chen o si na most in our ken and all that hotel. Open all the offer that waji. Pizza what you see, my offer toward the waji. And all
But Article 71 no man penny ka say wohwe kra nipa agi saa we percentage ni kitwa be ni 1% kranti can den kanye anything to go by no sheda say BBC bi Article 71 for no na
o ta chiro
ahuma ni nimwaye ti say yebekọ ne asia ba achi bi Frederick mama mra oso na ja yebre ni nti aketua ho nsem atwetwekọ atwetwaba adwumayefo opre mampanin so achechire mu achese even the buy nsem no kra no ye diatra ehye no aketuafo adwumayefo nso se enoma akosoro petro we nti we ne sa na won so ya kan o mahye
opani maminchao nya apreku na manya akonya ise no minchia party manyina MPP party ma ya ade akakakra etimi awie polling station electoral area constituency ayeko regional enche ne akọ national na yebedru national no maminchia Penny Stephen Ayesu in team national chairman hofula you need to say obeba abe chairman prekope
okay
in fact we echinye bi ani Brunibeka there is no debate or we shouldn't debate over the fact that public sector workers some seek asem no e form kakra e form enyoma bi na manetisa only labor analyst na say expert ni din komo no or ma enyoma bi dead now should be some questions bi na ho na mpese me man komodie no esi the free market system, the forces of demand and supply, productivity, and I be determine income. So, oba say empo, you say what done a bachelor wa boom natural wado. Yeah. And it's our concept, no, also more or less apply in this situation. Yeah, we find ourselves. So them di kind, I clearly admit say public sector workers, some market you no ever form. Okay. Vis-a-vis Nancy then there's no commensurate increase in their wages and on a hard so that means in economics say your disposable income no will reduce sika now purchasing power no beba from sika ebia you 100 cedis and you mabu akoso nya anka wo ton ebia be 50 cedis isi akobe 70 cedis so and baby in free baby back so clearly in the national no ultimu say public sector workers no omusika asem ni nkoye but that notwithstanding I say you who say the aban GGE no ene na no mampani epese o kiremu your tax revenue no and in fact government has three sources of revenue one your tax revenue and our loans your koje and be a donor support and our developing partners from the brand but donor support na negligible kobi or epum na abesia ye koboba abesia no so wo project de koye nti majority of the time they did trade my for can tax revenue now man penny can see your tax revenue was about 56 billion 56.15 billion we are using about 31.7 31 that means about 56% of our tax revenue goes into salaries and wages we are that means expenditure capital expenditure as against your tax revenue no maybe so a man the yebe biano na I say we are talking about 700,000 people on government payroll which for me I believe say we need to have a critical look at it. That is why I believe in a government a big champion making sure say the private sector becomes the engine of growth in the country. So we can be able to shift a lot of people from the public sector onto the private sector because a private sector no and really the forces of demand and supply no say be etimi adwuma unya profit ani acham obi ansa susubi ebio we need a system be ensure say at the end of the day buying policies in programs no ebetimi ama enyoma aba form kakra so that empo say usika no kra no enso a okwa na Brunibeka inflation said the normal bo cost on and 10 so that you lose the power in your money. So clearly no make a copy say the workers as well must also look at productivity. There's also a income disparity. For example, Obiye Jumawo say state housing company oje aketua sosne obi oye adwuma Ministry of Housing Works and House na state housing company no under the aegis of
committee na
so we have to look at all these things against also the productivity of the workers as well. So I believe that we have a government and a president or sensitive to the needs of air labor or the Shishebigwa to ensure say at least market yourself.
That's about who be on productivity na and also penny boss or na say ni paradona edwem na prekuyenhwe we beka say ahochiraba enti yemu ana penny cheche mu ahwe sika sem na de adwuma efo che say papa ahochiro ho de bat ye untu ma nhwe ma yemu ese amane nye den
ani me nyame ma menchia me bra panyin so yeshia na ache
papa
na yenchia ahwefo nso anim no kre sisi o man ayetimu ni memu ayedin and meni kofi be ya adwen se sisi adwumayefo akatua ene de yede yakatua no eye no ebo abura ase ne sen enkane na enka bia woje 1000 Ghana cedis ade a na 1000 Ghana cedis nanim ebetimi ato edi ama no ene enya ade a sa sika no ebetimi ato eninti ama sese ahokyere pa aba adwumayefo so ede na akofa we nyina aba it is about the increase in the price of goods and now me no ka say your inflation rate hit the double digits. It is true say aban eyemenu aban entimi mfa Ghana adwumayefo nyina ena aban sika enso Ghana adwumayefo nyina nso. However senka ye oman na ye set your priorities right anim enka sa ne ma we nyina emba
areas ben.
For instance say your oman na hwese obi tse Frontier Amwa committee report ebai ye gina so asaban e the increase the article 71 office holders salaries meboa.
Yeah.
But they na e fa Ghana adwumayefo ho ne de asat now since 2020 we've not attended
to it.
But
man beni say wo hwe sika ye tax ye de tua office holders na 1% training ti enye bia ebeha oha no wo hoda
anim say ye kase de bia ye be justify your mistakes.
Someone no canon until
I'm addressing what the president is saying.
Yeah.
But you can't say they justify your mistakes. Now you justify the reasons in tia the two and amobia and look how be no mining question.
Okay.
So you ask yourself, say, couldn't the article 71 office holders, i.e. the president and the government, reduce the 70%? Said the abaya ebe cushion at my kakra. And yet sabi attended say obi akatua regardless of the rate of it. Ono betu na katuam 70%. Na me adwumayeni ni dia atuma katuam 4%. All in the name say yes ye doso. O tuma katuam 4% no. A commerce with the increase in the prices of goods ana. And now me no say o ye Ghana adwumayeni. Hwe 2020 na otofu wo sen. Ene sika sen na obeti afiri wakatuam dia tofu wo. Say o ye Ghana adwumayeni na aduane a woto na eyesen enne sika sen na be ye free sa wo sika nim wakatu anim edi ato aduane. It tells you say enne the ordinary Ghanaian worker no ne budget constraint entimi accommodate the expenditure nipa no enke
ahokyere na abanti mampanisi na yemia e bet
no mampani no belt no mi anidim. We have government abaya or engaging in profligacy, extravagant expenditures, and abaya engaging in. Abaya onu nye na adwen say obe mia ni belt him, amatimamufo ye nso ye mia ye belt him. So if say o ya aban na so person Ghana for emia ye belt him, there are strategic measures as already put in place. For instance, you say over 56% of your tax revenue echo Ghana for adwumayefo akatua.
Yeah.
Remember say anim even aside the 31.5 billion ye the board man for Kano.
31.7 billion.
31.7 billion.
Yeah.
How much did we lose to corruption in the year 2021? We lost about over 12 billion to corruption in the year 2021.
That's not the case.
Can't a government put measures in place you bet me to solve that problem? Again, the second thing we could have done is you be increase the private sector. But then you ask yourself, about where you are buying about private sector now? And then look at the penchantness of taxes. You dear Ghana Jumai force.
So one, this is one factory, a private supported by the government.
A private supported, I agree. Yeah. But listen, Ghana Jumai Nina or one in private sector. Taxes do was saying, even on petroleum products, taxes do was saying the dear Guso. Even with VAT, you know Montpellier or year who come preco. A year who demonstration, arguably the biggest demonstration in the history of Ghana. You're segregating VAT. I increase the rate of VAT.
So I say we the topic I discussing no. But I say politicians we the other my man say obi ya they are from 95 kumi prekun o kemi no ya adwin. But ba na eba recently o mampani dada John Mahama promises say ye levy be for but countless of taxes na mode ye politics na me ba me say ba me but obi no me obeyi bibia de afi ho dada na. But
then say unyim free ho kra na you don't come in and increase it. Embedding the hashipa what imamufo so. That is what we are talking about. So if
I know the one
PPNDC na make.
So if I bind
and you as a person.
No, I'm saying you dey member say me nyamre
response. So if I bind
abrokiana for anu si na me next question.
So if I bind you betimi akusin Ghana adwumayefo a we have a moral responsibility as a bind say yen so niema bi a yen a ama adwumayefo akatua aye constrain you betimi reduce that expenditure and that burden na we Ghana for adwumayefo so no ebetimi abo ama adwumayefo so ehwo ahenhan omo kakra. But if we continue to burden these people with taxes, with levies, with responsibilities, anim enya dia timamuni ne ho beto no. But the usual rhetoric say ye be way. This government promised living wages mewa in the year 2016 up to now why.
So and was set on committee no. Since
2016 and ye who says ye setting one committee said ye be promise I make it in 2016 e bet me actualize
even so na former president amenti on so ba you live no be year free.
It is a moral responsibility, a moral contract anything Mamufo assign.
Okay.
And then John Romani Mahama I know I'm a Gini Dino. The first thing we will do, we will not set a timeline, say 100 days, 3 months, no, I know. But the first thing we will do is to repeal this obnoxious tax.
Friends, Frederick, Mamra also. But I'm to a question now for us to come on and you're bringing tea. Go back and forth. I'm so be out for 5 minutes. The next program or question maybe say who watches the Watchman because my Benny can't say yeah who near you man. I say I on my team phone day. O kasa oba be wie na o kasa obi adwuma ana ketua ne the disparities in salary age but ye nyina nso akwakwese nim se ye kwa adwuma bra nso na man bag so na me kofie ye nyiri ye ho nya adwuma e ho de ye mpese ye betie se ho o mampani ye de ne yetumi ahye mu kina
e ho no roni be kan grey area won say no they have a case. The reason why I'm case ni say regardless of the conditions and prevailing circumstances in here ama aban no ho a kire ne kakra yesi kasem no emma omo
ye free ho sisi adwumayefo na adwuma on be ye ye so na ye be
Matia say but say one o kanu bebre so sa no na ye bibio the make kopim ne say
about 20 na bibia wa na say ye kanu kra kire ye ho na enye
the make kopim ne say they have a right.
Okay.
At the same time, no, of course, the productivity matters. That's why I'm saying, say, a bind sudie to ensure, say, one, it will increase tax revenue so that a year the public sector worker will have maybe an increase in salary. So as no so was so obey responsible and productive. In terms of say, bia ukwa juma, they also ye no ye, ebia uko also upon 8 to 5, uko no upon 2. Uko lunch a one back. Ebia ko ye juma cho let be no there 2 baby. Just ya bet tata why this will be a baby. Ni nyina no affect productivity. But on this score, I'm just saying, say, the betimi a year amo bia here and say one, the economy must be formalized. And that is exactly what we are doing. So we share a component of tax here or can want some more friend obnoxious tax yana a year 11. A component I am for your doing say we share a situation where we have small businesses. be register with GRA so that they will be registered and say who send this idea and now who to omadia untua e-levy. So by so doing, that means that we are trying to formalize the informal sector. Until uye juma now ye bojua bia, you will be forced to register with Ghana Revenue Authority. And once you register with Ghana Revenue Authority, it means you'll be paying your taxes. So I bet me nyasa taxes na ene juma ni no betimi etua ne kam na ye. Now me de manu besi wa sembi o kan, and it's extremely critical say this particular government, this particular president is extremely sensitive to the needs of the Ghanaian worker. Unlike the NDC government, and maybe Okojina Botswana, na Ghana for Juma for Mwachrom as a result of doing so, any Ahochila by any na, Yebisa no Sisebi or join Funu, or any demonstrations, any agitations, any Bemanasa. But this is a different government. To the extent, Sene Juma for Juma, no Mutnefi, a bad way, and then another down Kwekufado man, penny one pamo biada. Otuobiaka
said the report by say you we my 4 hour share committee say hwehwe my for aketuam na emfienum ye de aba na won finance no say also ye de hi on my man
kwancha de fe sika wo
what the so ni sika ntro so odwan funu
ye nkasa enitina and ye nkasa nkyere we you Ghana ni ye yo dwan funu Yenye Janfu, Oman Penin and Adudan Kwekufado. On him the prevailing circumstances and situation among the public sector workers and Obon Homo Dimbia.
Okay.
Say Obetimi addressing these challenges. But also yes, say ye wasudi.
Okay.
Asudi any say ye kwa juma or see ye the sene fata ye juma or see ye. Yasudi any say ye try taxes. Yasudi any say who your business and you must register with Ghana Revenue Authority.
But taxes I say be unipower. I say oh muji a taxi. Apart from say the live near the tax war system near there, the new good door so be corporate.
But I'm saying that no so a solution to it which are being implemented. But once you are dealing with a human, say kakra. Your money no there.
And I am more Monday too.
I understand. That is why we will continue to ask and plead with the Ghanaians say with the good policies you do go akwem so mbekọ so ama ye mere no a ye betimi a dwuma poma bia ye betimi adwumi a
in the 18 na
no I say entino me de me kan kopim ne say aba we ya ban me de ma no si no aba we ya ban a otie Ghana for sufre no tu ho na mo for the last couple of weeks adwumayefo okasa aban itie I can assure them say His Excellency Nana Danko Akufo-Addo or the nhihye beba on better than
medase abraku brabuni ye hwe ye se ye kane ade nyina wo position wo aban mu ye countless occasions wo say obi kura owo aban mu negotiation bi na wakoja to ho aban foforo beba na ekohete no ntia na wo position be for say aban kutu but ye ka kire adwumayefo no kura mu say omo nso omo nyire omo hunya adwuma no eyo man man nyina ase de nsem wo position ti e me kan say e aban ko ase de sa ho no mo am opposition no so man pani kasa adwumayefo nso nyire omo hunya adwuma e ho no woni ne ya adwan na say or shield the responsibilities
anim Ghana adwuma ye ni aya fa na adwuma mu
yeah
even within the private sector anim ya fa adwuma ma wo te despite media hey
yeah
wo employer expect say obeye adwuma meboa
yeah
sanso na employer no e wo responsibilities bi a ono nso o ye wa adwuma e wo se ono nso ye de ma
but obehwe na e aban de
employee
say Ghana for yesu ban no e aban de enti no I say
anim
we go here private sector na the way any pe kum ho ye adwuma no be public one no
enti no it is whose responsibility to check his employee
Titro man penny say say or say you aketua de
very good e o say ye shetima mu ni bia adwuma ye ni bia den say onya adwuma however enu ntina ye yi mpanyimfo a odi omudi oman so nti sa mpanyimfo no mu so omudi oman no so no omo so omo sudie ni omo sede say omo so be hwese nipa na wafa na adwuma mu no because nim adwuma ye ni ayafa na oman mu ha bia no ye man conditions of service ye man terms of employment nti say me for adwuma mu. And I say you are not going by your terms of employment. Government has a responsibility to ensure say his employees will go by their terms of employment, i.e., work, said the area will increase productivity. And that is the essence of management. What am I saying? But, Kofi, the say, Motias, say, the usual yem blame. Say Ghana for us.
So your man Penia or Kasaya, a portion to every no cancer. Macan way in a no. And who be here said you my ding Ebeko.
I am not even the Kofi say Obi Kojina baby so a grand funo. Listen, you buy as NDC in 2009. You be inherited single span. You put in blames that Abayin been a year in
You did.
Did we or did we not implement it?
John Dramani Mahama did.
Did not John
Dramani
did
implement it, but you complained.
Yes, did we or did we not implement it?
What Cassano went to end
Yes. The essence of
about blaming.
No,
can't blame me.
But
that's why I came in.
The essence of it is about the implementation.
But you still blame.
So if Meka say nipan amwa no kra no ja no hokọ ya, the implementation aspect of it na e ma Ghana ni a enkane na ono that time na ogi bia 400 Ghana katuya increase ko over 1000 Ghana cedis. That is the essence of good governance.
And you complain later.
What the complaint is regardless.
But you complain
the
later.
The essence of it is a nipa na oye adwuma no that time na katuya ko soro. Nipa na oye adwuma ni purchasing power e ko soro. Enya se enne you come in and tell me say Ghana for Ekatia the tax percentage say etuaka enti ye tax constraint into the panekatua. That is negativity.
And of company say enco review single spine no. Na yen hwe nyoma egoma be the living wage na.
And it is not about the review in totality the review of our single spine. It's about say ye benya tima ama Ghana ni na afei etuo bebrebe ni the living condition I am an apostle and you better so kaka. Because listen, as on my own,
another saying for saying I'm buying with the
even with our petroleum products and acquire the 7 taxes now to so.
Okay.
And to say en Canada Ghana near join any tofu or just 14 Ghana cedis and net auto over 40 Ghana cedis a gallon. Say any pan say oh man 1,000 Ghana now to negotiate him just 4% and him how will be the living condition of such a person? And that is what the government need to sit down and think about. The essence of good governance, say you benya timam for ne tima.
But
now,
do you know the public sector worker was not going to work for almost 1 year, and government was paying?
Oh, for almost 1 year,
Oh, there were some that were even running shifts, but the government continued to pay.
But that doesn't mean they were not going to work.
So that's a government that is sensitive.
That doesn't mean they were not going to work.
But at some point in this country,
sensitivity of it. Let
me give you a quick
with a way of taxes to take it.
Teachers in this country work for 24 months and they were never paid a single day. Teachers in this country under John Dramani Mahama work for 24 months.
When the teachers
were never paid. They were never paid. But they were
sit on the
public sector workers.
Listen, we sit on the national platform.
Really, you didn't.
Teachers did a year for 24 months. Teachers, you sit down. Teachers in this country for 24 months. No, you don't say that. It is not true.
Madam was say, Meda Frederick Kofi Ameya was say NPP communication team members also and a brighter preku and so free DC also a communication team member yene a labor expert ora setablo so e kasa bi di anima do bi di aseda e mawini aba ekwaji wa so no so ka me ho na ye de kase bon bi kan ba yansa na ko twetwe eto aso ba red light eto aso nyame ya do na do bi so dum ya e kina they will be on despite media they will crew ni na so e do wan se nyame ma ya de kye yakramo.
I hear Best Point Savings and Loans have introduced some best mobile banking something. Babana,
Best mobile banking IFE Best Point Savings and Loans. Yenyane say owo account ewa ha. Na wafa o phone no dial *277#. Obetumi atua o light bill, o water bill, electricity bill, Star Times, Go TV. Afin so kra obetumi send sika mo bia o pesa o send sika e ma no.
But me master buy account amamo Best Point Savings and Loan. But you me make me you do me phone so.
Obetumi no so afa phone na dial *277# e no ano.
But I say
*277#.
Basa aba. Akuya, o fi. Masani kama wangu. The phone so they say Masani sika me use Best mobile banking. I said I'm saying now. They say o dial *277#. Akuya no anu. O phone ye o sika ni kaso. Akuya say me call high level me o digital.
Introducing Best Mobile Banking from Best Point Savings and Loans. No more stress in mobile money and interbank transfers. Pay your DSTV, GoTV, and Star Times bills instantly from your phone. Avoid the traffic and long queues. Best Mobile Banking is convenient, reliable, saves you time and money.
Best Mobile Banking. Every Best Point Savings and Loans. You just dial *277#. Phone ye, you see calculate.
If you know me, I could do pocket cinema. My web is me will be a second now. It's a 1 point and 1 point. Many are more.
Diana made you so. Messorina, no, my juice. Aduma, a croma, and you're the from Mobia.
I could forget you are. I'm a friend.
I didn't question you.